Ambition is a very important aspect of our everyday lives. If you look up the exact definition of ambition, you will find that it is a burning desire and determination to succeed. If you desire to improve yourself, you're going to need to set specific goals and know each waypoint along that path to achieve those goals. Maybe your goal is to magnify a church calling, participate in a school activity, excel in a particular sport, or may include any personal activities. It doesn't really matter what your goal is. What matters is that you walk that path and persevere regardless of challenges that may arise. And most importantly, absolutely never give up. I can think of many examples I could share for how my ambition has helped me in my own personal life. The one that I'm most proud of, and may be the greatest achievement so far in my short life, was the goal I set and achieved to become a soldier in the United States Army. I spent 4.5 months at Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri, striving to become a soldier and be a better man than I was before. I labored and suffered through 10 of the hardest weeks of my life in basic training, and was then blessed with an additional 7 weeks of job-specific training in AIT. You might think the hardest part of basic training would be the physical aspect of being on your feet all day, working, running, doing push-ups, getting gassed in the gas chamber. Oh, and did I mention the endless running? But no, not even close. The hardest part about becoming a soldier is what goes on up here in your mind. Although it is true that your body is pushed to the limits of its possible capacity, and you feel like your muscles and bones are just going to give out on you at any moment, and some actually do break. It is not about the next push-up, the next lap around the building, or the next PT test. It's more about what you think you can and can't do. That is just the thing. If you think that your body can't do it, it won't. I was able to overcome many challenges in basic training by simply having the willpower to get through it no matter what. I refused to give up. I chose to have the perspective that I would continue on no matter what the cost. I chose to paint a mental picture of my success and would not let my drill sergeants, another private, or any other obstacle get in my way of that success. I found a reason and a purpose to get through my challenges in basic training and use that purpose to push forward no matter what. The first week of basic training is especially brutal on your mind. The drill sergeants yell every order and instruction. They do everything they can to introduce doubt into your mind. They try to break you down to that point that you're almost certain you're going to quit. And by the end of the week, everyone hits their own personal breaking point and are just about ready to give up. Then the drill sergeants sit everyone down and remind us why we were there. They reminded us of our own purpose. This was a very powerful moment for each of us. I remembered that I had joined the Army for a greater cause, to fight for life, liberty, justice, and the American way. This experience was not just a personal battle. I knew that I was going to be a soldier and protect my country and the individual liberty found only here. I wanted to be a soldier for the United States of America, and this was my purpose. The weeks that follow this epiphany were spent learning how to forget my old weaker self and learn the ways and strengths of the American soldier. I learned extreme patience. I became physically fit, improved my motor skills, and practiced rifle marksmanship. I got physically strong through morning PT, and I learned perseverance through failure over and over and over again. I learned loyalty to my team because of the challenges we had to complete together, or not at all. And I learned to trust others and to selflessly serve my teammates as we attempted team exercises that were designed for us to fail. My favorite things I learned throughout my 10 weeks in basic training were these. 1. I learned to do everything with a purpose. 2. Pursue tasks and assignments with honor. And 3. I became in tune with my spiritual side through constant prayers for help. There were many times I was almost ready to give up and just go find a nice tree and lean up against it and take a long nap. But when I was at my lowest point, I would focus my mind on my purpose for choosing this path and would tell myself that I can do hard things. My ambition would kick in and my rucksack would feel 30 pounds lighter. The water jugs I would be carrying would no longer feel as if they were there at all. The filth, the tall grass, the mud, and the rain would no longer bug me anymore. My fears would suddenly dissipate. I chose to do hard things, and if the guy in the back of the line could do it, then I certainly could. After all, I reasoned some of these kids here couldn't even tie their own boots. I have never done something so difficult and felt more proud for completing a goal than when I finished my final endurance challenge called the Forge. At the end of my forge, my drill sergeant came up to me and shook my hand and congratulated me on becoming a United States soldier. In that short 5-second moment, everything I went through instantly became worth it. Although you might not be going through basic training anytime soon, and I definitely would not recommend it, but there are a few things that can be learned from overcoming the challenges in your life. Just like my basic training experience, there's going to be experiences and people throughout your life that are going to try and drag you down, break you into despair, and get you to quit. I challenge you to never let these things get to you. Never let anything break you down to that point that you make rash decisions and just want to quit. One of my favorite quotes was said by Mildred McAfee. I think I read it on the internet somewhere. But it's, if you have a great ambition, take as big a step as possible in that direction of fulfilling it. The step might only be a tiny one, but trust that it may be the largest one possible at that moment. If you truly want to do great things in your life, I offer you this advice. Never lose sight of your goals, never forget who you are, and never ever forget your purpose. And most of all, remember that ambition channeled through achievable goals can make any good person great.